The world is sick for a surprisingly modest-sounding reason. We don't understand love. And yet we're rather convinced that we do. We talk a lot of love, of course, but generally in terms of a dizzying rapture lasting a few months, focused on someone's beauty, intelligence, and strength. We have high ideals and refer with confidence to concepts like justice, equality, and rights, and yet somehow in the mix we avoid talking of the sort of love that would give true life to any of these. We are law-abiding and righteous, but we are, in the grandest sense, in the public square, without love. The most convincing definitions of love in the West have come from Jesus of Nazareth, which has proved unfortunate, given how easy it is for rational types to confuse an overcoming of supernatural faith with a neglect of the subject of love. To move forward, we require a new philosophy of love, in effect, a powerful secular religion of love. This should be read out after the news, and its tenets taught to CEOs and supply chain managers. We should put it on T-shirts, and it should be as common and more useful to say, "I'm trying to learn to love," as to announce a desire to become fit or famous. It's no insult to have to acknowledge that even though we inhabit a culture soaked in romanticism, we have problems understanding love. And even though we've had plenty of crushes and heard plenty of songs about love, we're still taking our first steps towards grasping what love might actually be. Here then are 7 key constituent ingredients of love. Charity. Love means, above anything else, benevolence and gentleness towards what is failed, disgraced, broken, unappealing, angry, and foul in other people and in ourselves. Love isn't about an admiration for strength. It's about directing sympathy in a most unexpected direction, at what is messed up, lost, and in pieces, and at what we might hate, resent, and be frightened of. Anyone can express an interest in perfection. To love is to devote an active charity towards the mistakes and aberrations. One day we will all require the charity of others. In one way or another we'll be on our knees, and we will need people to look past our evident failings in a tender search for our deeply hidden merits. Imagination. To love with imagination is to look beneath the surface, where there may be rage, cynicism, brittleness, or transgression, and to picture the suffering and pain that got a person to this place. To love with imagination is to fill in the better reasons why others are behaving as they are. Imaginative love knows that we are all somewhere desperate. It seeks out that desperation and treats it with sorrowful gentleness. Kindness. There are so many fighters for social justice, so many people determined to make a better world. They denounce their enemies and feel certain of their cause, but along the way they have a fateful habit of forgetting to be kind. In their denunciations of the evils of others there is precious little mercy, humility, tenderness, or grace. It's not enough to be right or just. To be kind is to know that everyone, even sinners, and in a way especially sinners, deserve ongoing sympathy and mercy. It's never simply because someone is wrong that we have any right to cease showing them the greatest kindness. Forgiveness. To forgive is to know that we are, in our own way, as guilty as the next person. Given what we all are, we have no option but to cut each other some slack. Of course we've failed and been hasty and less than admirable, but that's no reason forever to withhold love. We learn to forgive when we are no longer self-righteous, that is, when we're brave enough to fathom the darker sections of our own hearts. Loyalty. To love means being loyal to people. This could be ourselves, even though the crowd no longer agrees. Outside, the mob may be jeering, but we continue on the same side with steadfastness and an unbudgeable, resilient faith. Generosity. Love overflows. It isn't about loving just one person. It encompasses the love of someone you've just met, of strangers in another land, of the earth, of plants, weevils, housebats, and that moth by the window who might be dead by nightfall. patience. We want others to meet our hopes right now, but true love means giving people the time to mature and develop, to go wrong, to wander in another direction, and not to shout at them, but to give them every chance to grow at their own pace towards their better selves. If we can believe wholeheartedly in some of the above, it won't matter who we vote for or what our cause is. We can count as part of what is helping. We should be almost done with romantic love by now. We should be setting our sights on the challenge of this sort of love. Yet it's not surprising if we're still only at the beginning. We're just starting on the path to being human.
Love is a skill that we can learn. Our relationships book calmly guides us with calm and charm through the key issues of relationships to ensure that success in love need not be a matter of good luck. For more, click the link now.